Alrighty. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I guess that's what I'm going with for an intro. Let's get started. Yeah, I took yesterday off from doing Animal Crossing because, hold on a second. Not that screen. Hold on a second, I forgot to capture the game because I was doing a bunch of other things yesterday. Hold on. That's an easy fix. As soon as it decides to refresh. There we go. Got it. Sorry about that. Alright. I tweaked the audio a bit. Does everything sound a bit clearer? Because people were telling me before that it was kind of like muffled and like really low last time. So I tweaked it a bit, so the music should be a bit clearer, and definitely my voice should be a lot less, like, just kind of melding into the background. Sounds good? Okay, that's good to hear. I also stopped having my overhead fan on in my room, which probably was not a good idea in the first place. But yeah, I took a break from this game yesterday, because when I booted up the game just to look around a bit, I wasn't going to pick up my mail or anything, I was just looking around. That was a day that Nook's store was closed because he was remodeling. Fossils. Torso of a T-Rex. Okay, that's new. Torso of a mammoth. That's not new, but it's worth a bit of money. Ammonite, not new. Okay. Still making progress. Like, see all that stuff in my pockets is the stuff I couldn't sell yesterday. Because, I didn't want to fill up my inventory completely. So I was just like, whatever. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so that's donated, and then everything else is going to be sold. Nope. Go down. Okay. So yeah. So hopefully with the upgraded store, the game will take mercy on us and just have a fishing rod up for sale. Which would be the biggest thing, because then it would actually give us a bit more to do before it's just like, oh, we got all the fossils, and that's about it. So that's all new. Or that's all done, not new. Sweet. There was an event yesterday that happened. It wasn't anything big, it's just someone buried a ranch dresser. Which is a random event that can happen. So if you get to it early enough in the day, it's still there. So that's where I put my clothes instead of just having them on the floor. That's about it. Oh, and I found a bagworm when I was looking for the furniture in the tree. So I donated it. I should have saved it and donated it on camera, but I wasn't thinking when I did it. But as soon as I did it, I was like, oh crap, I should have waited. Our snowman friend did melt. So this is our time for redemption to make one. No, I don't. I like Nintendo Directs, don't get me wrong, but I never keep up to date with them, ever. Ooh, he's got a sliding door now. He's wearing a shirt, but now he's missing pants. Oh, I kind of like I kind of like this one. Sure. I'll see. I don't remember this shirt in the game. I wonder if this is one that they just kind of took out. No, I didn't hear about the Nintendo Direct. Is it focusing on anything in particular? I know that some of them do that. Oh, there's that leaf umbrella. No fishing rod still. There's an axe, though, which is supremely useful. Because there are so many areas in this game that are overgrown to a point where it's ludicrous. Oh, that peach I buried, that I got that super rare event that they just gave me a peach for really cheap. the place I planted it was not suitable, and it did die. So we don't have a peach tree, which is a real bummer. I mean, but I buried it in a big open spot of land. I don't know what else the game wants from me. It wasn't too close to a sign where people's houses were gonna go. Oh wait, I forgot I gotta sell everything. I don't need that tech deck anymore. I don't like the wallpaper. Yeah, all of that. But this shovel, not shovel, this axe is huge. Especially since we already have a shovel, is what I meant to say. So we can dig up the stumps. Because in this version, unlike the other ones, you can't sit on them. So they, once you chop them down and you don't dig them up, they are pretty much just useless. I think stumps actually make villager happiness go down day by day, actually, the more you leave around. But I could be wrong. Okay. This is gonna be a temporary one, because I'm probably just gonna use it a bunch till it breaks, because there's so many overgrown areas in this town already. Has Animal Crossing news? I have work tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm gonna be around when it goes live. If I am if I'm around when it goes live, I might check it out. That sounds really nice. But at the same time, I'm kind of trying to keep myself kind of blind to the new Animal Crossing stuff. Like this tree right here sucks. Like it's just too crowded for no reason. Clean that up. I'm also very particular about like how many trees and junk in town. I don't like this one. That one gone. Whoops. Yeah, that should be fine. The other ones don't really bother me. Now, if you don't know, people who are watching, the axe does not last forever. It has a certain amount of uses before it breaks. That way, people can't just right off the bat buy it. Oh, like, see this area right here? It really stinks. I kind of want to keep that cedar tree there. Just chop this one down. And this one, yeah. These are two. Oh, and all of these are way too close together. Mostly just this one. I do like the cedar trees, but I don't know. I don't like them being so clumped together. Crazy like that. Yeah, I don't think that. I think that's fine for now. If it's mostly about Animal Crossing stuff, I might skip it purposefully because I want to keep a lot of that stuff like brand new to me. Like I've already seen the river jumping pole and stuff like that, which is neat. But any other big things, I don't know if I want to see until the game comes out. This is all fine except for this one. Yeah, that noise right there was one state of the axe breaking. And it's a little attention to detail, but the more broken the axe is, the less it sells back for. I mean, it already sells back for chump change compared to the 400 it's worth or whatever, which is not that much anyway. But when you go to sell it back, when it's broken, the farther it is into its broken state, the less and less you get back for it. Okay, wait, so this is a prime example of an area I want to take. I think both of these. And if I decide that I don't want to keep, yeah, that looks way better. If I decide that any of these can go back, or if I fuck it up, I can always just buy the trees back from the store, or plant fruit trees in their place. That's the good thing about, hey, stroller, doing that drifty thing again. The good thing about trees is, the stumps do have one purpose, I should say. I don't believe there's any stump bugs, like bugs that delegate themselves as spawning on the stumps. A green drum, okay. Sharp umbrella and some more paper, which is always nice for free. Oh, that's my one sheet of paper I dropped in the dump yesterday when I was donating fossils. I didn't realize I didn't pick it up. But what was I talking about? I've already seen the game, some of the game stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I just lost my train of thought. Oh, I don't know. Oh, I was talking about stumps, right? There's one use that stumps have, unless I'm wrong, and they do have stump spawning bugs, like bugs that spawn on stumps to catch. Is that if you leave a stump there, that's a 100% guaranteed spot that a tree will grow if you dig up the stump and then bury it. It's kind of the game's way of telling you, like, that this is a tree safe spot. That's pretty much the only thing I know about them, like the uses of them. Right now I'm just cleaning up the town, because didn't get a fishing rod, but we did get something. At least we can snazzy up our town a bit. Whoops. There we go. While we run around and look for things. Like, see, I hate when trees spawn right on top of each other like that. It's just... So, to put my mind at ease, I'm just gonna chop the non-fruit one down. And bees and shit can still fall out of trees when you hit them with an axe, because it does count as shaking them when you hit them. So that's always a possibility. We'll just be chopping a tree and a beehive will fall out. As long as we're quick enough on the draw with our net and we don't overshoot it or undershoot it, we can catch them and sell them for extra money. Oh, like this area right here. Okay, this one has to go. This one has to go. My day went fine. I had a big long stream yesterday. I did a bunch of music games. I played some Thumper, which is a crazy, crazy game. Oh my gosh. And then when my hand started hurting from how intense that game was getting, I switched over to just Shapes and Beats, which is a, oh, it's starting to really break now. Which is a, I don't want to say rhythm game necessarily, but it's a bullet hell game that the stages are synced up to the music. Just gonna thin this out a lot. That looks way better, especially once I dig up the stumps. Yes. That tree can stay. I don't want to get too overzealous. I know there's more overrun areas. My day's going fine. I had off work today, so yesterday I was like, oh, I can either do a long stream tomorrow or I can do one tonight. And I was like, well, I didn't really use a lot of energy at work yesterday. It was a pretty quiet day because it was nice and rainy, so not a lot of people were going through the drive-thru. I work at a Whataburger, by the way, and that can be either a really nice job or it can be the worst job in the world, depending on the day and the people. But so I was like, you know what? I have energy. I'm probably gonna do other things on my day off. I'm just gonna go ahead and stream now. And so I had like a almost 4-hour stream switching back between games. So I played some Thumper, I played some Just Shapes and Beats. I'm gonna chop this down after work. After all, I mean. And then I dipped a little bit into starting Hat in Time. Yeah, Whataburger's real good. We didn't have them in my hometown, or in my home state, I should say. So I just didn't really know about them that much. But once I moved out here, they have them all over the place, and the one I work for is really nice. This one's gotta go. I'm kind of wasting this axe by doing like decoration things, because there are some legitimately overgrown areas that need to be taken care of. Like here's one. So this one has to go. This one has... Oh, no! Don't hit that tree. Well, that wasted one use. And now we have cherries in the ground. That's alright. We can sell those real fast. That's the danger of having... It's not my controller. I've done so many tests with other games. It's only this game in particular that messes with this controller. Wow, this area is so overgrown I can't even get past it. Chop, chop, chop. I probably got like 3 or 4 more trees in this axe before it just breaks at max. And yeah, this one. I want to keep a cedar tree. Oh no! That one mishit costed me a tree. Damn. Well, at least we got some of that done. And if need be, because there's a way to like check what your go-to. What do you mean? Like my go-to eating establishment, or my go-to item at Whataburger? Because depending on the area people live in, I don't think they're gonna understand. I barely do. I've only lived out here for a couple months. But if we're talking about Whataburger, I really like the patty melts, but I ask for raw onions instead of grilled onions. This area is pretty thick too. Oh well. Because having worked on the grill myself, I can tell you, grilling all those onions is a pain in the ass. All the time. I'm not trying to make people feel bad about it. Like, if you like grilled onions, get grilled onions. I'm just saying, as someone who works on the thing, on the grill during rush hour, having to dedicate part of the grill specifically to foods that, like, the burgers can't touch because of food contamination risks, it can slow down production if there's enough orders. Because Whataburger, and all food establishments take it very seriously, but Whataburger is by far the only restaurant I've worked for, out of a couple that I worked for, that take health concerns extraordinarily more seriously than everyone else. Like, there's a reason that Whataburger's so nice, and it's because they make sure everybody's up to snuff when it comes to their food safety and keeping their hands clean and everything. And that includes that the grill has to be like meticulously cleaned pretty much in between every burger. Like, I'm not even kidding. Plant these flowers here. Try to make up our... Oh, I didn't get these stumps. That's embarrassing. Glad I found them. No, it's not. And that's the thing about fast food restaurants, a lot of people don't know. When you get hired at a fast food place, you aren't the cashier. You aren't the grill person. You aren't the fry station person. Oh, that was fast. You either have to, yeah, the sweet and spicy bacon burger is really good too. I'm not gonna lie. That's one I just prefer raw onions over grilled onions. I find the sharp flavor to be more enjoyable than the sweet flavor of cooked onions. So I also get raw onions on that. What I like to do is when I get a sweet and spicy bacon burger, I like to ask for raw onions, no mustard, sub creamy pepper sauce. So that way you have sweet and spicy sauce and a little bit of creamy pepper on it at the same time. And it's real nice. You just gotta... Depending on the person who makes it, they either drown it in sauce, which is fine but messy, or they put so little on it that having both sauces on actually saves it. Oh, I've run out of space to hold money. Spicy ketchup's nice too, can't deny. The only reason I don't eat the spicy ketchup more often is I have a mental block with little packets of like sauces. Like when I go to Taco Bell or anything like that, I don't use the sauces because the little packets tick me off because they either open perfectly about 30% of the time, or what usually happens more often is they refuse to open without busting, or you go to peel it and instead of peeling open, the entire side peels off and it still doesn't open. But then the pull tab you're supposed to use to open it, it's not there anymore. So then you're like, well, I guess it's garbage now. Alright, let's see. So I've just kind of given up on them. Every now and then I'll dip back into it because I'm like, oh, whatever. Doing another flower over here. Is that a good place for it now? Let's put it like there. That's an alright place for flowers. Red. The white cosmos. Are the white cosmos the ones that are blue? Or are they yellow? They're yellow. Okay. I remember there was a lie. I just couldn't remember what the lie was. Well, still no fishing pole, which is a bummer, but hopefully that'll change soon. Oh, look at an igloo. Oh, like this area would have been great to use the axe on. Hopefully he'll sell a couple more down the line, because I have a lot of mind goblins about this place, which a mind goblin is just that feeling you get when something bothers you on screen and you wish you could change it, or anything, if anything bothers you irrationally and you wish you could change it. There or here? There, definitely there. Alright, and there's all of our flowers for the day. But he is selling more per day now, which is nice. Yeah, luckily I work for a really nice Whataburger, and we rarely ever get, like, shitty customers. Like, rarely, which is nice, because I used to work for a Chevron in a not very good part of town, in a different state, and, oh, people were always so ugly when they came in. And not just on the outside. Wow, wow, sorry. Sorry. No, but, take it from me, if you work retail in any way, shape, or form, and you're thinking about getting a second job, or if you're thinking about working somewhere else, unless you work at somewhere that is, like, debilitatingly bad, do not seek out a gas station job for your first option. Use it as a last resort. Gas stations, especially if you work in a state like I did, that sells alcohol in gas stations, stay away, because there are so many just bad, ugly, mean people, and crazy people too. I have so many stories about crazy interactions I've had with people. I don't just mean like, oh, they were drunk and they were yelling. I mean like, no, I mean like, one of my stories involves a man who had cut up arms, and he was rubbing his cut up arms all over our glass doors and counters. And I'm not joking. That's a real story. That's the crux of the story. Oh, fuck, a new person. Chief and Joey. Oh, hi. Okay, you're cool. I've also been, downloading the VODs after the stream, because I'm not affiliated, so the VODs disappear after 2 weeks, I think is the timing. So I've been, downloading the VODs, and I've been uploading them to my YouTube channel for archive reasons. Just in case I do start doing this like way more often and way bigger, I want to make sure that like I have everything archived as much as I can. Snowing out. Oh yeah, it is snowing, huh? I noticed it, I just didn't really think about it. I'm gonna talk to you a bit. Gotten fatter? Probably. Yeah, working... Well, I also worked at a really shitty Chevron that was like a medium-sized gas station, but they only ever had one person working there at a time. Like, one person. There was one employee in that entire building per shift. And I worked the nighttime crew, because I'm a big, tall man. I'm a big, tall man. So I was better at doing the stocking things, and they were like, oh, well, you know, you're a big, tall dude. You're less likely to get robbed, was basically what the conversation boiled down to. So I worked at night from 10 to 6 a.m., 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., pretty much every day, because I barely got any days off for that job. And every day, people would come from the little hotel next door, and the vibe that people gave off was like really inner city, like don't talk to me or I'll punch you vibes. So a lot of times they had their hands in their hoodies all the time. Exactly, a gun does not care about height. Or a knife, which I think would be more intimidating, honestly. It'd be less effective, but more intimidating. But, they would always keep their hands in their hoodies as they walked in the dark all the way up from the hotel, from the thing. And every time I see someone walking up like that, I'd be like, okay, is tonight the night I get shot? And I'm not joking. That was a fear I had every night I worked there when something like that happened. When someone brought in a bag, I was like, okay, are they going to have something? When someone would walk in with... by the way, if you're going into a store at night that has a counter where the counter looks outside, and it's nighttime, do not walk with one hand in your hoodie and one hand on your side. That's terrifying for people who are working behind the counter. That looks like you have one hand out to act like you're not suspicious, and then the other one's clutching a gun inside your hoodie pocket. I used to talk to people all the time about how scary that is. And people are like, well, I wasn't thinking about it. Like, I wouldn't bring it up to the customers, ever. Ever. But, like, I would talk to people outside of work, and I'd be like, dude... It's like, I used to like keeping my hands in my hoodie all the time, but the etiquette is either you keep both hands in it and you don't act suspicious, like you just act normal, or you keep both your hands out. But keeping one hand in your hoodie and one hand out of your hoodie is like, oh, Gulliver's back again. Hello. Is just like the #1 sign of like, am I gonna die today? No, luckily nothing ever happened. No one ever brought a weapon in the store, ever, while I was working there at least. But, man, if that wasn't scary every time. Because we had 2 really cheap motels that were separated from a wooden fence from the Chevron. And a little wooden gate. And every time they would just walk out of their hotel room, walk through the parking lot of the frickin' hotels, open the gate, walk through ours, and then walk into our store. And there was only one entrance or exit, you know, which is for safety reasons. But, all the time. This summer, doesn't matter how hot it was there. People would wear hoodies or big jackets and do that. Especially in the summer, when you have no reason to be really wearing a big hoodie. It was really scary, because there's that added layer of like, why is he wearing this? Outside of trying to cover something up. Oh, gave me another item. What did he give me, I wonder? I also haven't been paying attention to the game. I've just been recounting these weird-ass stories working there. I have a couple. What did he give me? What did he give me? A Chinese lion. I don't know what that is. Oh, I found... So sometimes there's 3 fossils, sometimes there's 4 fossils, and sometimes there's 5 fossils. Whoops. I don't know the rhyme or reason of why they spawn that way. Like at all. I really don't know the reasoning. So that should be the last one unless there's one more somewhere, but I don't really feel like hunting down one last one. Oh, never mind. Game just gave it to me. Well, alright. So there was 5. Unless there is 5 a day, like, every single day. But some of them are hidden, like, right behind trees where it's literally impossible to see it. And that's why I don't always find them all. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, this gets donated. And then I gotta buy some paper. I'm gonna go sell all this other stuff. I guess I should talk to you while you're here. I don't remember if it was on stream or if it was the one day that I played off stream yesterday, but Mitzi is this like blue and we were talking to her earlier. It's this blue and like tannish white cat. She moved into town. I don't remember if that was already on screen. And this you can see her kind of her feet up there. That's Mathilda. She's a black kangaroo with a little child, and she's really cool too. I remember that from when I was younger too. So I'm getting a lot of good villagers. Oh, and Tangy the orange cat moved in, which is another villager I don't like that much. Tank and Tangy. And that one weird octopus one that's like a super special one. Were always ones that irked me in design. I don't know why. The octopus one I can settle on because it's an octopus and it's just a normal octopus, but something about having a big leaf on your head for no reason, or being a literal orange that's a cat, just always kind of bothered me. I know it's imaginative and fun, don't get me wrong. But it just kind of bothers me. I don't know why. Juicy news. Nah, I'm good. I don't need your gossip. I don't need your gossip, Mathilda. Same as always. Just running around. I might lead, after we get all our daily stuff done, since there's, again, still not a fishing pool, I might lead this into a little bit more Thumper tonight. I don't know. That game's really intense. Chief, have you ever seen Thumper or heard of Thumper before? I know for a fact if you say the bottom one to the question when they're asking about vitamins, they get mad. But from like the first day when I was talking to Cleo, I said I don't do anything. She got mad. And the villagers stay a lot mad or sad a lot longer in this version than they did in like any of the other ones. In the other ones, you would just take a couple screen transitions and they would be fine. And this one I think is set to a time clock of like they're mad for X amount of minutes or X amount of seconds. Which is a lot harder to deal with. Oh. It is, and it has a VR mode. When you go to boot the game, you can boot it in VR. So you can play that little beetle running down that giant psychedelic track in VR. Which is like terrifying, but probably like really fun. I wish I had a VR thing. That'd be so cool. I might as well talk to you once, Tank. I don't like you, but your design's not as bad as Tangy's. Now, they did make Tangy a lot better, and Tank a lot better, in the later games when the writing got a bit better, and the designs got higher fidelity. Like, Tank looks fine. I just think the leaf on his head's dumb, but whatever. I can always just pretend that it's green hair. That makes it better. But Tangy's texture just looks like she has pimples all over her. I think it has PRV. I think it has PSVR support. It has support for pretty much any other headset that I saw when I go to boot it up. Oh, I did the thing again. Well, whatever. I'm gonna go buy some paper, and then I gotta donate it, and then I gotta mail it. And then, yeah, other than that, other than talking to a few more people, I guess we just have everything done. Again, it's a shame. Because I did look up the bug chart, and I learned that the bagworm is until March. So I got the bagworm off screen. I should have saved it to on screen, but like people don't really want to watch. Like, I don't know. Even just finding, whoops. Even just finding is kind of a chore because you just have to shake trees endlessly. Put that up there and then that there. Got it. And then sell things. Then I gotta go invest some of this money into my debt. Oh crap! I forgot. I actually want to see what these things look like first. I want to see what these furniture items look like before I go ahead and sell them. The instruments are a lot different in this version than they are in the later ones. So, oops. In the newest games, the instruments just play a random note when you click on them. But in the older games, when you click on them, it just plays your town tune in that instrument. Oh, it's not an instrument. It's a literal like toxic waste drum. Well, that's a hardcore sell. Was it? Oh, that's cool. That's really cool, actually. Do I want this? That's the big question. Doesn't really fit my house, but it is really cool. I have not played Cat Quest, but I watched Cryotic play it a little bit, like when the game very first came out, and it looks really cool. You know what? I'm gonna keep the lion. I don't think I can buy it back, and it looks cool, so I'm just gonna keep it. I know some of it. Like, I know you play as like an orange cat. And I don't remember much else in that because it's been so long since I watched it, but I have heard of it. So what I'm gonna do is sell this ficus and this drum. Excuse me. I always yawn so much when I stream, I don't know why. Yes, I'm gonna sell, please. Oh, wow. It's 500. Sell prices in this game are brutal. I want to get some more tickets before the end of the month, too. Yep. I know how the raffle tickets work. Yep. I don't want to look at it, I just wanted to buy it for the ticket. Buy it! We got a platinum trophy in it? Wow. Does it have any, like, really kind of bullshit? Sorry, my brain's gone blank. Does it have any, like, obscenely, like, bullshit trophies to get? Like, you have to do, like, some, like, pixel perfect thing? Because I know, like, indie games in particular are, like, really notorious for sometimes, just picking, like, one tiny aspect of a game and going super hard in them. But maybe that part of the game wasn't fully realized, necessarily. And they're like, hey, do it perfectly. Oh, I guess I need to sell it all back. Hey, yeah, get over here. I'm just curious. I'm not asking if the game's bad. I'm just asking if the, if there was any achievement that particularly gave you any trouble. Nope. Less than a week. Alright, well, that's good. That's good to hear, at least. Oh, excuse me, yawning again. I am kind of tired. The thing about days off is, the days off just become like my laziest days. Like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to lay around, catch up on some YouTube stuff, watch some stream stuff if friends are doing things. So I just yawn endlessly. Oh yeah, right. I gotta do that. Drop these tickets off too. So my general rule of thumb when I'm playing these games that I came up when I was little and I just kind of stuck with it is if I'm carrying too much money to carry, I go ahead and dump it in into my deposit for my debt. But I always keep at least $30,000 on my person in case something like an event happens or something. I want to make sure I have enough money. Right, go in the museum and in the mail. Yawn. I might need to program a yawn counter if I'm being real. So every time I yawn, I just click a thing and there's like a little yawn counter with like a yawn emote that pops up. Like the frickin' snooze emote. Wait, let me see if I can. Like that one. Oh, hey Johnny, how's it going, man? You caught me at kind of the end of Animal Crossing. I'm just kind of finishing up some of the daily duties because Tom Nook refuses to sell me a freaking fishing pole even after his store's upgraded. So I'm still just doing the daily duties. I did get an axe and I chopped down a bunch of trees that were overgrown, but there's still so many. So hopefully I'll have another axe soon. But after I finish up on Animal Crossing, I was gonna switch over. Pick all the ways. Yes, I did. I make a point of it because in this game, in this version especially, the weeds are hardcore. Sometimes as many as 4 can spawn in a day, and I believe I found them all. But once I end Animal Crossing, I was thinking about leading into Thumper. Are you familiar with Thumper, Johnny? I played it for a while yesterday, but I had to stop because the game... No, okay, you're in for a treat then. I had to stop playing Thumper yesterday because my hand was cramping so bad from how intense it was getting. It's a very special game. Hold on, let me finish this. Alright. And yeah, I don't know if you were in any of my streams before, Johnny, but hopefully the audio is better than it was. Thumper is intense, that's for sure. The tutorial's not so bad, but once you get past level 1, it doesn't pull any punches at any time. But yeah, I was messing around with my audio and stuff yesterday, so hopefully I don't sound tin canny or like you can't hear the fan in the background because like, the fan's turned off now instead of being on. And the music and everything should sound fine, hopefully. But yeah. So I was thinking about I really want to transition into Thumper now. I talked myself into it. So if you're free to hang out for a couple minutes after I finish this, I think you're in for a treat with that game if you've never seen it. Oh, someone else was sending a letter. That's weird. I forgot that the villager's mail actually counts in the post office in this one. I guess that makes sense. Yep. This one. And then I gotta do one more, and then I gotta leave and come back so I can mail the second one. Because you can only do 5 at a time from data limitations. Okay. Pete's gonna do a little flap. Bye, Pete. Oops. Okay, there you go. No, I don't need any more letters, but I do need to dump some of this money off. I'm gonna pay about half of that. No. Save at least 30,000 in my pockets. Look at those flat JPEGs of mailbags in the background. That's great. Oh, they even turn to match the screen. That's funny. I love when old games do that kind of stuff to save on data room. It's a very specific little charming thing. Oh, shit. I got mail already? I guess Pete works fast. Oh, from Bippy from Bob. Oh. I wrote a letter to Bob yesterday. I was trying to use good grammar, but again, this game has very... Well, it says simplify, so I think the idea is that you're supposed to write short, sweet letters, not actually go into detail in the sentence structures. Put that in there. So I don't know. But yeah. So it's going to be the end of our Animal Crossing day today. I'm going to transition over into Thumper in a second. So, give me a second there. Finish up saving. Oh, man. But, tell me, Johnny, do you have any interest in, like, psychedelic graphics? Or rhythm games? Alright, saving's all done. Get out of my face, Dolphin. Sweet. Okay. Okay, so how the VOD system I'm doing is working, I actually need to end the stream here so that I can upload this VOD separately into my playlist. So I'll be right back. Just refresh when I say